Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me for yoga tonight. So I decided that I'd like to share my favorite poem tonight, and it's called Go to the Limits of Your Longing, and it's by Rainer Maria Rilke, who was a German-Austrian poet and writer who lived, 1875 to 1926, so it was the turn of the last century. So this is Go to the Limits of Your Longing and see how it feels to you when you hear it. It's not too long. God speaks to each of us as he makes us, then walks with us silently out of the night. These are the words we dimly hear. You, sent out beyond your recall, go to the limits of your longing. Embody me. Flare up like a flame and make big shadows I can move. Let everything happen to you. Beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. Don't let yourself lose me. Nearby is the country they call life. You will know it by its seriousness. Give me your hand. And sometimes I have to remind myself, let everything happen to you. Beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. Just embody me and flare up like a flame and make big shadows I can move in. So here we are. And let's use the tools of yoga to help us to reconnect with that part of us inside that is always centered, it's calm and strong, it doesn't need to change, and is the part of our true self, connected to all the other beings in the universe. All right, how do we do something like that? Well, let's start with our breath. So find a comfortable seat. See if you can bring your hands in front of your knees or in front of your legs and just hug in a little bit. See if you can maybe feel your shoulder blades, maybe feel your spine get a little taller, the crown of your head get a little taller. Begin to focus in and let your arms relax. And begin to feel yourself breathing. Notice when you breathe in, and when you breathe out. And please breathe at your own pace. I might be a guide, but this is your yoga practice. So breathe in a way that's comfortable to you. Take a few more breaths to just be here, breathe. As you're aware of breathing, you also be aware of any changes that might be happening inside, any shifts. There are so many different ways of breathing when we focus on it. Let's try humming breath today. So all we're going to do is we're going to inhale through the nose When we exhale, we're gonna hum. This, see if you can notice how it feels. And notice if you're humming at a high pitch, lower pitch, maybe kind of play around with it a little bit. So let's do 4 or 5 humming. Let's do a few more. Do you feel the vibration as the hums is coming across your vocal cords? And see where you feel the vibration. And if the pitch is higher or lower, does it change? Where you feel the vibration. Let's do 3 more. And feel free to use this kind of breath as we go through our yoga practice today. It's kind of fun to be moving and using a humming breath. So we're all learning. So let's see how that goes. All right, now we're going to add some movement. Bring your hands in front of your legs, and as you inhale, and lean forward, lift your chin, bringing your chest forward. And as you exhale, you're going to round your back and tuck your chin in. Inhale, arching your back forward. Exhale, rounding and tucking your chin. One more, this last one. Let your arms come down along beside you. And as you inhale, we're going to reach the arms out and up and overhead. You can look up at your fingers and exhale and let your arms float back down. You can soften your elbows and then inhale. Exhale. That's one. Maybe you'll feel like your inhale is lifting the arms. All right, now we're going to inhale, lift the arms overhead, and on your exhale, let the right arm come down and take a side bend to the right. Your left arm is overhead. We're going to keep the left hip on your mat. Maybe look up at your left hand as you inhale. Look down at your right hand as you exhale. 2 more breaths. And then come back up with your both arms up and overhead. Get nice and tall on the inhale. Exhale, let your left hand come down, right arms overhead, and we're taking a bend to the left. Keeping your right hip down. Inhaling and looking up. Exhale, looking down. More breaths. And then Your right arm come down, hands in front. Let's walk the fingertips forward till you feel like you're about where you want to go, and then soften your elbows. Let your head slowly come down. Just to a place where you're not in discomfort, but maybe you feel a little expansion going on in your back. Remember to honor your body, not go into discomfort as we go through our yoga practice. And walk your hands back. And now we're going to take a turn to the right, but we're going to keep our shoulders facing forward, and we're going to let your eyes go to the right. Eyes are going to the right until your shoulders, rib cage. You can bring your right hand back. So your rotation to the right. Feel it in your torso. Notice where you feel the rotation. Now coming back, let your eyes go to the left. Eyes are leading the way until we come facing forward. And then we're going to let the eyes go to the left. The chin is following along, the shoulders, and then your rib cage. And you can bring your left hand back, right hand to your left knee. Take 3 more breaths. We're moving the spine in 6 directions. Let your eyes turn to the right, then to the right, so you're facing the right. Good. Let your knees be under your hips and your wrists under your shoulders. If your knees are sore, you can even put a little fold in your yoga mat. And walk your hands forward a little bit, spread your fingers. We're going to breathe up and down the spine. As you inhale, lift your tailbone and your chin, and as you exhale, round your back and tuck your chin. Inhale and exhale. Exhale, your back is rounding up to the ceiling. And then you inhale, it's rounding to your mat. Let the movement start at your tailbone and roll up your spine. Let's do 2 more breaths like this. One more. Good. Now, we're going to change it a little bit. So on the inhale, we're going to move forward, move your shoulders forward, and exhale. Bring your hips back toward your heels, lengthening through your spine. And then inhale, come up. Get your shoulders forward. And breathing out, bring your hips back. Let's try it with a hum if you'd like. And let's do 1 more. Now, let's come up to hands and knees. I'm going to turn the toes under. And now we're going to lift your knees off the floor. Bring your hips back. Maybe step forward a little bit. We're going to come into downward dog. Now, your heels do not have to touch your mat. In fact, you can bend the left knee, let your right heel come down, and then switch. Bend your right knee and let your left heel come down. And go back and forth a few times. And now let's inhale, bring the knees back down. Next exhale, bring your hips back towards your heels. We're going to take a few breaths here. You can Feel free to fold your arms and let your head rest. And then reach your arms forward, maybe look towards your hands. And walk your fingertips to the right. They can even come off your mat. Let your hips go a little bit to the left. Breathe into this long stretching, long extension on the left side. Good, and then come up on your fingertips again. Walk your fingertips across to the left. And then let your hips kind of shift to the right just a little bit and feel that long lengthening on the right side. And then bring your hands back in front of you. And we're going to let the elbows come down. And interlace your fingers. So now your forearms are down. Your elbows are under your shoulders. And we're going to let you interlace your fingers. Let your head come right there by your hands. Turn your toes under and lift your hips up. When you're ready, you can bring your knees back down. It's like a little mini down dog. It's like a puppy pose. And you can do this with your fingers interlaced, or you can let your hands come flat to your mat. I'm going to interlace my fingers. Let your head come down and lift your knees off your mat, kind of lifting your hips up. And then when you're ready, let your knees come back down, and let's find child's pose. So you can widen your knees, bring your toes together, sink back, and let yourself take breath. But a mindful pause. So notice how you're feeling. Notice your breath. We're going to let your knees come a little bit closer together so your knees are about hip distance apart. And come back to straightening your elbows so your hands are down. And we're going to lift the right arm up. You can follow it with your eyes. And on your exhale, let that hand slide behind the left, coming through, and let your right cheek rest on the floor. The right arm is beneath you, and you can take that left hand and reach it forward, off your mat to the side, or you might even want to try bringing it onto your back. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Now take that left hand and put it under your left shoulder. You're going to press down right out of the pose. You let that right arm come up, back to your mat. So your hands are under your shoulders. Your wrists are under your shoulders. Now let's do the other side. So we're going to lift the left arm up, follow it with your eyes. And exhale, let it turn the palm up, let it come behind your right arm, guide you down so that the left cheek is on your mat. And then you can reach that right arm forward, out to the side, and let it rest on your back, on your lower back. And find a place where this feels beneficial to you. If this is uncomfortable, you might want to come out of it and just spend some time in child's pose. That is wonderful too. Take 3 more breaths. Let that right arm come under your right shoulder, or right next to your nose, actually. Press down into that right hand. Let the left arm come back out. Back to hands and knees. Good. Let's turn the toes under. We're going to come back into downward dog. So lift your knees up and start to walk your hands back. Good. Until you're in a forward fold. But your knees are bent. Let your arms, your knees are bent. Let your chest rest on your thighs and let your arms come behind your legs. And then let your head be heavy. You're letting tension just roll right off. Bring your arms behind you with the palms up. We're going to inhale here. Exhale. Bring your arms forward. We're going to do this 4 times. Each time we're going to come up a little bit more. Okay. Next time we're going to come all the way up. And then let's come and make any clothing and hair adjustments. And it's time to kind of shake ourselves out. So shaking your arms, shake your legs, your hips. Get everything loosened up. Maybe shift your weight from one foot to the other. And let your arms kind of dangle. And let my arms shake a little bit too. Let the arms come around. As you shift from one leg to the other. Let's take a few more breaths, just letting everything loosen. And find your way to the place where your ankles are under your knees and under the front of your hips. We're going to inhale the arms up and overhead. Then exhale, bring the arms down and around. We're going to come into chair pose. Arms facing each other. And then exhale, bend down. And inhale, come all the way up. Exhale into chair. Inhale, stretch forward. And exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, soft knees, come up, arms overhead. Exhale, arms down around a chair. Inhale, lengthen and reach forward. Exhale, folding all the way over. Let's do that one more time. Big inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, arms around the chair. Inhale, stretch across the room. Exhale. Good. And then inhale, come back up to standing. And bring your hands to your shoulders, your elbows out, and then let the elbows come forward, up, back, and down. Rotations. And now let the make circles in the other direction. So let your elbows go right down, back, and up. One more. And now we're going to inhale the arms up and overhead. And on your exhale, bring the right hand to your waist. Left arm overhead. Left foot is melting into your mat. You take a side bend, a standing side bend. Up with that hand. down at your mat. Take one more breath. Stand, reach the right arm up. Both arms are extended up, and then take the left hand to your waist and side bend over to the left. Nice long right arm, extending from that heel to your fingertips. Two more breaths. The front of your hips, you can lift your toes and spread your toes, and then lift the front of your body up to your shoulders, and let your shoulder blades come onto your lap. Let your toes soften, fingertips reaching for the floor, opening across your collarbones. Notice if you're moving, if the movement is ceasing, if you're finding stillness as you stand. You feel yourself breathing in mountain pose. We have this calmness in the body. Hopefully you're coming to calmness in the mind as well. Let's find our balance. So shift your weight into your right leg, right side of your body. Come up onto your left toes. And can you maybe bring your hands together if that feels good? Bring that right your left ankle to your right leg. You bring that left foot to your right leg. Keep your breath nice and steady. When you're ready, let's go to the other side. So bring all your weight into the left leg, the left side of your body. Come up on your right toes. Bring that right foot perhaps to your left ankle or to your left calf. Whatever is working for you today. Keep your breath nice and even, nice and steady. Balancing is a practice. Something that we learn by doing. And let's try the wide legs again, turning the right toes out. And we're going to reach the right arms out again. And we're going to reach the arms out to the shoulders again. Let's bend that right knee. We're in warrior 2 right now. We're going to inhale here, and on your exhale, come onto your left toes and rotate to the right, bringing your hands together. And inhale, open wide. Exhale, rotate towards that right knee, hands together. Inhale, opening wide. Let's do it one more time. And then a crescent pose. Good, and now let's bring the right toes forward, left toes out to the side. Shoulder height again, bending the left knee. And we're going to take our warrior 2 here. Up on the right toes, bringing it over crescent with the left knee bent. Now open wide. So bring it around to the left knee. Now open wide. Let's do it one more time. And now we're going to bend the left, right, kind of shifting your focus side to side. Hands right above your knees. You feel that your elbows, your shoulders get involved, rotating. You can turn. If you're bending the left knee, you can turn the right toes in. So just kind of letting your body move side to side. Let's get a little bit lower, lower. Your hands can move side to side. We're bringing ourselves down to the mat. When you're ready, bring your hands down, bring your knees down, and come around to sitting. Let's have long legs, legs extended. Let your feet be hip distance apart. So there's 5 or 6 inches between your ankles, as opposed to your feet being right next to each other. And bring your hands kind of behind your hips. Sit nice and tall. Point your toes up. We're going to start in staff pose. So it's like a sitting mountain pose. Open across your collarbones. Feel a little length in your spine. Let the tops of your shoulders soften. Feel the opening in right in the chest, across the collarbones. All right, now we're going to inhale. Lift your arms up and overhead. As you exhale, fold forward, but feel free to bend your knees. Take 2 more breaths here. Now bring your hands behind you. We're going to lift the hips up so you can walk your feet back so your knees are bent, your feet are on the mat. And lift your hips. This is reverse table. You can let your hips come back down. You can move your legs forward and lift your hips up. Like a reverse plank. Then let your hips come down and find a way, your way of coming all the way down, lying on your back. And once you're lying on your back, take a moment to notice how it feels. Be horizontal. Feel that gentle pull of gravity. But perhaps your body is already letting go. Reach your right arm back, flex your right foot. Now we're going to stand on just the right side. Let your left side be not involved. So you're reaching your right arm back, you're reaching your right leg forward. Breathe. Then release, bring your right arm down, and now reach your left arm back, flex your left foot, and reach just from the left side. I'm going back, left leg going forward. One more breath here. And release. And then bend your knees, wrap your arms around your legs. Go side to side and make some big circles. Your feet come to the floor. We're going to do a couple rounds of bridge pose. And you can use your arms. You can use one arm, two arms, or leave your arms at your side. It's up to you. But when you're ready, we're going to inhale. I'm going to lift just my right arm. Lift the hips. Right arm back. Look over my left shoulder. Exhale, lower back. And then inhale. Lift the hips. Lift the left arm. Look over my right shoulder. That's not bad. Let's do that again. Arm lifts with the hips. And then exhale down. Left arm lifts. Exhale down. And one more round. One more with each arm. Now bend that right knee in. And we're going to let the right ankle lie right above the left knee. And you can let your right hand gently massage that right thigh. Bring your arms out to the side, roll to the left until that right foot comes down. Feel free to lengthen your legs, make any adjustments. You're rolling to the left. You might even want to look over your right shoulder. You can try humming breath. Take one more breath. And then you bring your legs up the right foot, come down to your mat. Your knees go side to side like windshield wipers. And let the soles of your feet come together. If the knees are bent, let the soles of your feet come together. Knees go out to the side. Let's take 4 or 5 breaths right here. Getting a softening of the inner thighs and the hips. Take your hands to your outer thighs. Let your hands help your legs to come up, your knees to come up and face the ceiling. And then walk your feet about hip distance apart. Hug the left knee in. And then let the left ankle rest right above the right knee. Take your left hand and left thigh, encouraging it to soften. And now we're going to roll to the right until that left foot comes down. And again, straighten your legs, make any adjustments that feel good. So we're rolling, we're rolling over with our legs to the right. You can look over your left shoulder if that feels good. Let's take a few more breaths here. Roll back onto your back. Feet are on the floor, knees are bent. Take your knees side to side. And now we're going to step your feet as wide as your mat and let your knees come together. And take a couple breaths here. And your body soften. And the tension, joints, and the muscles release. Take 2 more breaths. And step your feet in so they get distance apart, and then straighten your legs. And then let your legs be about mat width apart. Arms by your side with your palms up. Time for final relaxation. I will guide you through the relaxation. The parts of you that are supported by the mat, feel them. Soften. Head, shoulders, upper back, lower these places. And just soften. Feel the release. Upper back, right shoulder, upper arm, elbow, right arm, wrist, and hand. Let that right arm be soft and light. And bring awareness to your left shoulder, upper arm, and elbow. Lower left arm, wrist, and hand. Left arm, soft and light. Your awareness down the body, down your spine, your lower back. Right hip, thigh, knee, or right leg, ankle. And then right leg. Look soft and light, and take rest. Bring awareness to hip, thigh, and knee, your lower left leg, ankle, and foot. Let your left leg take rest. Soft. Your whole body soften. Take rest. Self-permission and go for the next few minutes. And to bring your awareness back to your breath. You can notice the lifting feeling of you as you inhale, and the softening feeling as you exhale. And when you're ready, find a little movement in your fingers and your toes, and your ankles, your wrists. Let your head slowly turn to the right and to the left. When you're ready, reach your arms overhead. Take an inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. You can go the sound. Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. Taking your time, bring yourself back up to a comfortable seat. So feel free to roll on one side, bend your knees, press your hands down, use your arms as you come back up. Take your time. And when you're back to a comfortable seat, bring your hands together, rub your hands together. Feel the heat. You're building the heat. And bring your hands over your eyes. Warm. Let's do that again. Build up some warmth in your hands. Your hands over your eyes. While your hands are here, bring your fingertips to your scalp and make some little circles. Massaging your scalp and across your forehead. Down from your temples to your ears, and back behind your ears, and along your front of your neck. And your hands up to your ears. And give them a little gentle pull. With your hands in front. Smile muscles. I'm just going to give them a little warmth and attention. Your palms together in front of your heart. Spirit in me honors the spirit in each of you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Have a good rest of your day, rest of your week. To see you again soon. And I hope that the tools of yoga are something that you can use off your mat whenever you need them to release tension and to enhance your health and well-being.